Pat Haley right now, once again, brewing property rights, property owners' rights issue. Growers maintain as long as they stay within state regulations, they have a right to grow and process that crop. Neighbors subjected to the strong odor say they have a right to not have their property values adversely affected. Which side of this divide do you fall on? And if you say there needs to be a balance, please specifically cite exactly how you would propose to strike that balance. Pat Haley.
Well, this really caught the county off guard because the state legislature just went ahead and licensed places and then gave it to the county with the responsibility of where to locate them. And so the county went through a process and determined that it was an ag product, so that they said, okay, if you're going to grow a marijuana operation outdoors, it has to be in ag zone lands. And well, they found out that it's not like fruit trees or a vegetable garden. It has an odor that's associated with it. So the classification really kind of fouled them up. Now, in regards to the neighbors, yes, it has an odor and it's an offensive, and they have a right to live in their property without a nuisance from the neighbors. And so there may be a solution to solving this that provides the balance. For example, you can grow crops with your marijuana that also put out an odor, albeit a pleasant odor, a perfume if you like. And so the mixing of those odors kind of masks the one that's annoying and offensive. Now, that's a regulation that you would have to put on the property owners, and of course they don't want any more regulations, but it does provide a balance so that the neighbor isn't offended by what has impacted you, and then you can make a modest modification to your growing operation that includes growing a plant that puts off a fragrance that masks the annoying odor.
Pat Haley, everybody. Now we end up this question once again with Dan Sutton. Dan, the question once again is property rights issue when it comes to marijuana. Growers maintain as long as they stay within state regulations, they'll have a right to grow that crop. Neighbors subjected to the odor say they don't want to hear it, and their property values don't want to hear it. Which side of the divide do you fall on, and how, if there is a balance, would you strike it?
Well, they're both right. It is the law of the land, whether we like it or not. It wasn't a state issue. It was the citizens themselves that voted this law. We are now experiencing another law, the law of unintended consequences. We didn't know exactly how this was going to be implemented. We didn't know what the effects were going to be, and we're learning those. So we have to be able to adapt. There is the ability to move grows indoors. The grows that are done indoors go through a very effective and efficient filtration system. The legal entities that regulate that, they renew their licenses. I see a situation where we may be put into the position of having to cause outdoor grows to go indoors in certain areas because the people that live next to these grows, even if it is legal, also have the right to not smell that odor. So it becomes a situation where we as the governing body have to help facilitate a solution to that. It can be done. It's not an impossible task as we are all learning about this. And it's simply going to take thought and proactive action to make it work for everybody. Because until the law changes, and frankly I don't see that happening, this is what we have.
Thank you very much, Dan Sutton.